You got buns. I got Asperger's.
I spend too much time on Twitter, and I spend too much time talking to my friends about Twitter, and they've started to just tune me out. And so what I've decided to do is, in the hopes of making some white people welfare, I'm going to every day see what topic people are talking about and upset about for some bullshit reason and make a video about it, regardless of what it is. And that's Twitter time. The first subject is one that I didn't think it would be, because excuse me, I thought of this idea yesterday, and I got home and I didn't do it. And I didn't do it for 1,000 reasons. I think I didn't do it because my initial takeaway was very frat boy fucking, whatever, I like to fucking jack off to these ladies, they can do whatever they want, you know? And I didn't think that was very interesting as an introduction video. But I also, one, I don't think introduction videos matter. The event is self-sustaining. It's self-evident. You can tell what this is. It's very obvious. Two, it spilled over into today, and it keeps sitting with me. If you don't know what this is about, recently, this video kind of took off here on Twitter. This was posted on May 23rd. At the time of recording this, it is the 26th. I'll play this video for you real quick.
I'm more of like a compliment guy. Like, I like your implants.
But what if I told you they were big old naturals?
I was talking about your teeth.
Oh, that too?
So there you go. You get a pretty lady with big tits that she moves around, and there's a joke. It's kind of a funny joke. It's a very sitcom-y sort of bit. People like it. When people like things, algorithms show it to people that they think might like it. And if you notice, the woman in this video, this is her, is wearing what we would call a goth attire, gothic. She has very pale skin. She has black clothing. Her hair is black. Her lipstick is black. Her eyeliner is very heavy. These are goth sort of markings in the goth fashion area. People are very upset about this. Goth, as like an art form, as like a look, is a look I have always liked. Growing up, my mom was very into horror movies. My aunt was into horror movies. All my extended family are horror people. All the women in my family are horror people. So I was always around all this horror imagery, constantly. And that always kind of drives you into this sort of like goth subculture. I am not goth. I don't identify as most any subculture, really. But I've definitely never been one of these people. I've never been into like poetry or like all this sensitive bullshit that they pretend to be about. It's not my style. If it's your style, thank God. Have fun. Who gives a shit? The problem is, they're very upset at this video and this woman in particular. This is Pink Chiu. She is a Twitch streamer, I believe. One of the ladies in this video, there's multiple of them. They all look pretty similar. Like, they're all kind of doing the same look. So they cross over a lot. One of them is very notable. She makes a lot of TikToks where the idea is she's very sexually aggressive with a guy who's not into it. And so it's like, oh, it's comedy, it's funny, ha ha ha. But then also, like, dudes can beat off to it, which is what a lot of this stuff is. We all know that. We all know it, right? Let's call it spade a spade, right? Like, it's jack off material. It's pretty ladies showing cleavage a lot and doing sexy things or sexual things to try and whatever. And everyone involved is having a good time. The customer, me, is having a good time. She's probably having a good time making money doing this and not working a fucking shitty job. Is beautiful. This is America. This is industrialism. But the Goths are not. The authentic Goths are not having a good time. So we're going to look at some posts here and get a vibe. Some of these are all responses to the video. So every one of these is someone who responded to that main video and wanted to have their 2 cents. Goth girls now versus goth girls like 20 years ago are so different. I used to only date scene and goth girls. The goths now, they are just OnlyFans hoes trying very hard to mimic the socially awkward big titty girls back in the day. I hadn't read the end of that, where he's like, they're just trying to look like the big titty girls that I knew back in the... What? Yeah, dude. They're doing the style. What do you say? So he's like, okay, yeah, like I used to date big titty goth girls, right? But these ones are like fake. They're not like the ones I did. They're not authentic. The ones I dated were like real J cups. This is so fucking stupid. Hold on. A person responding was like, yeah, they were way different back in the day. This is a non-person. This person isn't real. Washington's Ghost, they're a content farm, whatever the fuck. They respond to everyone to up, you know, engagement and shit like that. They know what they're doing. Who gives a fuck? I would not be amazed if they were, like, friends with or working alongside the girls in the video to some degree to help drum up interest and shit. I hate the fact I know exactly the kind of girls they all are. So hot, but fuck no, wouldn't touch any of them. I know exactly what you mean. I don't know what this means. A choice I'm sure you're faced with regularly. Used to be, which is why I know what kind of girls they are. 20s were fun, but there's parts I can't say I want to relive. No, he wrote it right, relive. What does this mean? This one asked him if he would explain. He doesn't go into it. I assume he's like, yeah, goth girls are like... No, I'm drawing a blank. They're like emotionally draining, maybe. They bring trouble or whatever. But I never get that vibe off of the... They all look like extremely laid-back, fun people. I guess that's exhausting, right? If you're a goth person... I didn't want to necessarily drop this too soon. But if you're goth, you're fat. No. If you are goth, it's probably a counter to not being, like, popular. Like, the traits that we associate with popular people in high school and the like, those traits are the ones that you don't have, so you become the antithesis of. And one of those traits is athleticism, right? So, if you weren't athletic, you were probably a pretty reserved person. You didn't party necessarily. You didn't, like, go all the way. You didn't go crazy, right? Like, you weren't getting crunk. And these girls seem like they go the distance, like, party-wise. I'm trying not to sound like I'm saying that they fuck constantly. I'm sure they do, right? Like, why wouldn't you? But I'm not... That's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is that if you're like an introvert, an extrovert girlfriend is probably fun for a little bit, but it's probably really draining pretty fast. You always want to go out and do shit, right? You just want to fucking sit at home, play marathon, whatever, shit like that. I find Jarvis memes funny. I think it's funny to imagine Tony Stark asking his AI to do dumb shit. There's a moment a couple years ago, me and my siblings. It's a very sad thing to have to correct, isn't it? me and my siblings were doing the bit just back and forth, and my youngest brother, who's a little retarded, just said, Jarvis, tell my brother he's gay. Like, it's just send him a message and let him know, like DM him, or to send him a Sorry, in the corner of my screen, there's a tornado watch in effect.
You want to know what's funny?
What?
Colin didn't even say didn't even say Jarvis tell Clinton he's gay. He just said Jarvis. Like,
Oh, here we go. This is what I want to see. This is a person totally fucking going off the rails here. This is from Velvet Coal Mine. Wow. What does that username mean? Does that mean like she only fucks black dudes? Her location is Chicago, so maybe. So if you're out there, Cortez, shoot your shot, my man. I swear to God, this sexy caricature of what they think a goth woman is so corrosive and degrading. Do the women know what the deal is? Because they can very well be goths. They may listen to the music, share the philosophy, enjoying darker aesthetics, and appreciate/respect its roots. The issue is the obvious catering to the male gaze instead of being an individual, which is what much of what the alt scene is. Can goth women be hot? Yes. Do we wear fetish items? Yes. This began with punk artists like Viv Westwood at the time. I don't know what's going on with her brand as of late. All right. Me neither. We're in good company here. But all these women look like the same person on a different day. That's true. They do all look very similar. Admittedly, I've seen other clips of them where they don't look like that, where they look more distinct. I think they are deliberately trying to synchronize their outfits to look a certain way. Where was I in this shit? Let's jump ahead a little bit. Goth is not all about fashion, but that is another topic. There are goths who embrace their individuality through fashion, through our wardrobes aren't made up of 80% sheen. If a goth woman wants to do OnlyFans, totally fine. Get in the bag. It's when women, goth or not, usually not, use tropes and misconceptions about us to make that money without a single thought of what they're putting out there about us. They lean into fetishizing a group of people, as we have been for many years, and intensified it with this big titty goth girl bullshit. I don't think there's one goth woman who hasn't been somehow sexually pestered in public, and most definitely online. We've all seen a massive increase of this behavior ever since e-girls started calling themselves goth. The e-girl trend came and went, but the sex they sold using our scene as window dressing for gooner pandering remained. Well, it hasn't gone, right? Because it's here, right? Like, these are the girls, these are the e-girls. They're still doing it, so it hasn't come and went. This shit is genuinely corrosive. It turns people who may have been genuinely interested in our music. Hold on. I have my fucking thing. Oh, no. It's there. Sorry, I fucking around with stuff. I'm trying to get it so that it fills the page, but it's not just my whole desktop, and sometimes it cuts stuff off. Whatever, it don't matter. Who gives a shit? Here's some OG and modern goths who are/were genuinely part of the scene, not because they look goth, but because they embrace the culture. Okay? I don't see a crazy difference here, right? This all seems kind of on the same through. Like, that seems on the same through line as this. I think this is not... Like, she's definitely playing more into the sexual aspect of it, but I don't think that's significantly different. I love it here. What this person is talking about, I assume this person is a woman and fat. And what they're saying with this stuff, right? They have to give all these qualifiers, like, you want to do an OnlyFans, that's fine, like, that's fine, go get it, girl, whatever. Because feminism has taught her that she should support women doing business that doesn't hurt other people, right? Like, if they're doing it, you should be supportive of that. I agree with that sentiment. The problem is she doesn't. And she can't quite justify it to herself. She can't figure out why she doesn't. And the reason she doesn't is probably because well, not to put too fine a point on it, it's probably because these girls are hotter than she is, and it probably makes her feel a little insecure, which is fine. It's natural to feel that way, right? But, like, it's not their fault. Don't get mad at them for it. If you're a woman who resents a woman for being prettier than you, it's no different than a guy who resents a woman for being beautiful and not talking to him, right? It's on the same sort of incel trend. She has to give all these statements to try and make it sound like, no, this is because they're inauthentic. This is because they're taking our culture. There is no culture. You cannot... People love to talk about, like, their little insular communities as if they're the same as, like, a country or a race sort of deal. Like, they're using the language you would say... They're using the same language that an academic would use to say, like, dressing up as a Native American is bad because you're degrading this culture. But the problem is, like, yes, that's true. That's bad because you're turning what should be, like, these cultural things that have significance into this, like, cartoon abstraction that's borderline mockery. And that's a thing that has meaning and purpose to a culture that you don't really necessarily have anything to do with. Now, is that all true for goth stuff? Maybe. But also, goth culture is, like, stupid. Like, the Native American shit kind of holds more water, right? Because it's a dude who's like, dude, like, my fucking great-grandparents and shit, right? Like, this meant something. Like, making this stuff was difficult. Doing this stuff was difficult. We had to wear this stuff. We had to dress this way for a certain reason. So you kind of dressing up like it as a Halloween costume when other people are dressed up like vampires and clowns and stuff. It makes it sound like you're putting it on that same level. There's not this amazing history for goth shit, right? Like, the gothic writers of the whatever, they weren't looking like the goth subculture. They weren't doing that. That's not what it was about. They were, like, just normal people. Like, Edgar Allan Poe dressed like a normal person, except for that time when they found him dead and he was wearing, like, clothes that were too big for him. Here's another goth lady with big tits. Very pleasant. I can't like post because my account is locked because Drewski, who is a black comedian, did a skit where he dressed up as Erica Kirk, so he was in whiteface and everything. And someone said, this is not going to go where you think it's going to go. And there was a tweet, and someone was like, what would happen? I want to let that sit for a second so you can kind of imagine what I'm going to say, because I swear to God, it's not as bad as you think. He's like, what if a black rights activist had been killed and a year later a white comedian in blackface dressed up like his wife and mocked him? And I know that what the person's nonsense, but I was like, who could you do that to that you would immediately go, yeah, that's justified? And there's not many black rights activists, right? They're not, like, they exist, but you can't name one. Maybe, like, FD Signifier, right? But, like, can you name anyone who works for, like, the Anti-Defamation League or something? Or the ACLU or whatever the fuck? And so I was like, well, what's a black man whose wife everyone hates? And then I responded, well, I guess we'll find out when Will Smith dies. Because you could totally do that, right? Like, when Will Smith dies, if you want to do a fucking thing about what's her face, you could do that. And they fucking locked my account for 12 hours for it. I said, when Will Smith dies, I guess we'll find out. I didn't say to kill Will Smith. I didn't say, you're right, bestie, they should all burn. I didn't say it's time for... Oh, shit, what was it called? I didn't say, like, the Zoot Suit riots need to happen again so I can unload. As far as I'm concerned, my statement was neutral. That dude's tweet is still up, by the way. You can still see it. So because of that, I can't like post. If I try, it tells me I can't. Otherwise, I would. This is very lovely, Goth Girl Hannah. Let's take a look at some other posts here. Goth. I think you mean trend-hopping cosplayers that just want to promote their OnlyFans. If you're seeing this, go outside, speak to real women. They're worth more than some subscription-based silicone and black lipstick. Less likely to falsely accuse you of misconduct, too. Damn. That one went dark fast. That one went into a dark place pretty quick. Falsely accuse you of misconduct. That's crazy. The teeth underneath are real, but those vampire fangs are artificially redesigned through composite bonding, so the natural teeth are modified through a dental procedure. Well, thank you. That's what I wanted to know. There are a couple of others here that we can see that I want to draw some comparisons to. Here's another post. It's all the same girl. This is one of the ones where you look at them and it's like, yeah, they do kind of look samey, but I think they're trying to get a look. Goth House, okay. Real creators. Oh, they do like a hype house thing where they're all together. That's probably insane, right? I bet that house smells obscene. I bet that fucking house is just hot Cheetos and fucking iced coffee cups all over the place. That's the thing, right? Is when you're like super hot. When you're super hot, being a slob is almost like a cutesy personality thing until you have to live with it and deal with the consequences of it. Of having like nothing but sugar and fucking sodium bags all over the place, and you realize how quickly you accumulate bugs and shit. This is from Libertarian Goth. What is this gooner bait bullshit? Goth used to be about embracing the beauty in darkness, tragic romance, music that gave you real feels with a dark edge, and a philosophical appreciation of the beauty of death. Now, it's all gooner bait. It was never that. It was never that. It was about not being Chad and not being Stacy. It was about not being a cheerleader. It was about not being a football player. It was about not being a yuppie. It was all that shit. That's what it was about. It's always been that way. Those people like bright colors, we like dark colors. Those people love life, we hate it. That's what it was about. What you've forgotten is that you used to have proximity, right? Where you used to live in a town, and everyone had to find their place in the hierarchy. And a guy who plays football naturally befriends people who play football, which includes the cheerleaders who are associated with the football games. Well, if you're not that, what's the opposite of them? And then you find other people who are the opposite of them. And the real trick, not a lot of people remember this, is you used to be able to get someone out of your league by being in the same proximity group as them. You could get a girl if you were willing to be goth. You might find a girl who was like way out of your league who would be like cool with you because you like were next to her all the time. The internet's killed that because now they can connect to 1,000 guys hotter than you instantly. It does work the other way, right? Like no goth girl in your city is going to look like these people do, right? So at some point they either have to put up or shut up, and they're probably just gonna sit there and seethe for a while, as this person does. That is the great loss of our society, is it's hard to, because you can connect with people all across the globe who are way closer to you in temperament and interest, you do lose that sort of associating, that sort of vertical slice of people in your area that you used to connect with, for better or for worse. Why is the word cluff trending in the United States? What does that mean? Is this like clown muff? No, Cluff is the name of a basketball player. Alright, well, not quite as interesting as what I thought it was going to be. Alright, so this lady responded to that. Here's a picture of them all dressed up. Blah, blah, blah. This is from Maneri. Oh, they're a VTuber. Oh, I didn't look at this. Okay, what did she say? Hold on. What did she say? Nobody's mad you have fun prostituting yourself. Like, you can feel the spite in that one, right? That one's got some spit on it. The problem is fetishizing a subculture and ruining it. Cosplay is nowadays more known as a kink than art form, and now you're using goth as a kink to promote your OnlyFans. They seem pretty committed to it, right? Like, at what point do they just naturally get to be a part of the goth subculture? If you do it long enough, right? You just kind of get folded in. They're probably doing it more than anyone else. I gotta know, what does this VTube look like? What is this VTube? What is their model? All right, let's see this.
Look, I'm just praying that the AI bubble is
way too much jiggle on the chest. This is This is a hold on. Let me pull this up a little bit for you.
bursting, because everything, even an NVIDIA DLSS or whatever the fuck the name is,
She's kind of it's kind of doing 6-7, right? Like, watch it.
everyone is going crazy, absolutely crazy for AI. They wanna push AI, stuff it down our throat.
Okay. VTubers, the novelty has picked up. The novelty has gone away. You have to try harder with your character design. The novelty of seeing an anime character talk while they're responding to stuff, like, that's gone. You have to find someone to design a character for you that doesn't look like an anime character anymore. What VTubers are now, they've like coalesced the same way that furries did, how every fursuit looks the same. You know what I'm talking about. Every fursuit looks the same. All VTubers look the same. Male ones especially. Male ones are fucking awful. You have to take advantage of the medium. When VTubing first started, I had an idea to be a VTuber. And my idea was, you know the Canadians in South Park, how their like head flaps open? I was going to get a JPEG of a T-Rex, and I was going to set it so that its mouth did that whenever I talked. And I was going to do that, and that would be my thing. And no one has done anything like that. Not any meaningful amount. The burnt peanut, legitimately, now that I'm looking at it, by virtue of using this stupid, shitty model, has actually, like, added innovation into the space. If you want to be a VTuber, just find a character that's interesting, right? Like, find a crazy character. Do what they do on Family Guy, right? Like, just find an adjective machine and just find a descriptor and a noun and just keep going until you find something crazy enough and follow through on it. Anyways, I hope you were entertained with this. In retrospect, does it matter that these fucking e-thoughts are like pretending to be? No, it doesn't. It's meaningless. Goths aren't real. I don't know how to tell you this. Like, wherever you are, where goths are like a thing that are like sacred and interesting and unique, nowhere else is there. You're delusional. Like, just, if you don't like, if you like the pretty lady, like the tweet, bust your load or whatever and move on. And if you don't, just hit the little tab down thing that says you don't care about it and you won't see it anymore. You cannot pretend that this is the equivalent of, like, stealing culture, because it isn't. There's no goth culture. The goth shit is like a weird subset of a weird subset that really doesn't exist anymore. At some point, music and music interests got so specialized, it's not possible to form a meaningful community around something. You have to be listening to everything or nothing. And there's no in between. You either listen to all music forms of all kinds, or you only listen to video game soundtracks. Whatever.